Imagine a 72-year-old grandmother, fed up with people telling her what she can't do, wandering alone into the snowy wilderness of a famous alpine resort. But what she finds isn't just nature. It's a wounded being, larger than life, glowing faintly beneath frost and ice. Not human, not from here. A stranded alien, vulnerable, dying. And somehow, she's the only one who can save it. One decision will change her life. And maybe the fate of the world. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit like if you love heart-pounding sci-fi. Subscribe for more human versus universe adventures. And share this story with someone who loves unexpected heroes. Trust me, you won't want to miss a single moment of this incredible tale. Margaret Whitfield had never been one to fade quietly into the background. At 72, she'd spent years being told what she should or shouldn't do: stay home, watch TV, join a retirement community. But today, she didn't listen. Today, she was stepping onto the frosted slopes of Silver Crest ski resort, a place she had never imagined herself visiting alone. The air was sharp, filled with the scent of pine and the crunch of snow underfoot. Her cabin, a quaint chalet perched on the mountainside, overlooked the frozen expanse below. Families zipped past her in neon ski suits, snowboarders carved arcs in the fresh powder, and couples laughed on lifts. Margaret only smiled. She didn't come for skill or speed, she came for the silence, the thrill of cold wind against her cheeks, and the stubborn declaration that life wasn't over. By the third day, curiosity pulled her off the marked trails. Strapping on snowshoes, she ventured into untouched snow, guided only by instinct. Each step sank softly, the forest enveloping her in a quiet so complete it felt sacred. Little did she know, the solitude she craved would soon be broken by a sound unlike anything she had ever heard. Margaret's boots crunched over untouched snow, each step echoing in the silent forest. The world felt suspended in frost and quiet, and for a moment she felt weightless, free from the expectations that had followed her for decades. Then she heard a faint, irregular sound, muffled beneath the snow, almost like a low moan. Her first thought was a trapped animal, but instinct, that stubborn spark that had brought her here, whispered that it was something else, something far stranger. Margaret edged closer, heart hammering, her snowshoes slicing through icy drifts. And then she saw it, a figure, enormous, half buried in the snow, glowing faintly with bluish light. Armor shimmered like liquid glass, but cracked and battered. She froze. Its face, pale and elongated, was unlike any human she had ever seen. Eyes closed, blood or something like it seeping into the snow. Fear clawed at her, sensible and sharp. Leave, call someone, run. But another voice inside her, one she hadn't silenced for decades, insisted, if you leave, it may die. Margaret clenched her jaw. Alone, cold, but determined, she whispered softly, all right, let's see what I can do. And just like that, a 72-year-old grandmother became the only hope for a being not from this world. Margaret's hands trembled as she approached the massive figure, 7 feet tall, armored, and alien yet helpless. She tore off her wool scarf and wrapped it gently around its chest, pressing against the glowing wound. The fabric hissed faintly, reacting strangely to the alien's blood, but it held. The being flinched, eyes still closed, chest rising faintly with weak breaths. How am I going to move you? She muttered to herself. Every instinct screamed to leave, to run, but Margaret couldn't. She had raised children, nursed a sick husband, and taught unruly classrooms. She knew what helplessness looked like. Her mind raced, and then she remembered the sled she'd left back on the path. With aching muscles and sweat dripping beneath her wool hat, she dragged the alien onto the sled, each step a battle against weight, snow, and gravity. Hours felt like minutes and minutes like hours, yet her resolve never wavered. By twilight, she reached her chalet. She wrestled the sled inside, locked the door, and laid the alien on the rug before the fireplace. She poured hot water into a bowl, tore strips from an old towel, and cleaned around the wound. Its eyes flickered open briefly molten silver, bewildered, but Margaret's calm voice reassured it. "You're safe now. Don't worry." And for the first time since its fall, it felt hope. By the third night, the alien stirred fully. It sat up suddenly, pain etched into every movement, reaching for a device on its belt. Margaret held up her hands. "Easy now. No one's here to hurt you." The alien studied her, confusion flickering in those impossible silver eyes. When it spoke, a distorted but understandable voice emerged through a strange translating device. "You are not soldier." "No," Margaret chuckled softly, despite her exhaustion. "I'm a grandmother on vacation. That's all." A flicker of something unrecognizable, gratitude, curiosity, maybe awe crossed its features. "You saved me." "Why?" Margaret shrugged, settling beside it. "Because you needed help. That's what people should do for each other. Doesn't matter where you're from." Slowly, the alien lowered its weapon, its tense posture softening. "I am Carr, Commander. My ship was struck, hunted." Margaret frowned. "Hunted? On Earth?" Carr's eyes narrowed, scanning the forest beyond the chalet. "If they find me here, you are in danger." "Danger." Margaret's heart pounded, yet her voice remained steady. "Then we'll make sure they don't." For a moment, silence fell. Outside, the storm whispered through the trees. Inside, an unlikely alliance formed an elderly human and an alien commander, each discovering trust in the other, and each unaware of the trials that were about to descend upon them. The storm howled outside, snow lashing against the windows. Margaret awoke to a deep, vibrating hum like a horn echoing through the mountains. Carr sprang to his feet, pain forgotten, weapon in hand. "They are here," he said, eyes burning with urgency. Through the frost-streaked glass, Margaret saw glowing searchlights sweeping the trees, angular shapes moving with inhuman precision. Enemy patrols, aliens, hunters from another world, had tracked Carr to Earth. Fear gripped her, yet a strange clarity emerged. "You're not leaving me alone in this," she said firmly. Together, they improvised. Furniture became barricades, snowdrifts concealed their tracks. Margaret guided Carr silently, her heart hammering with a mixture of terror and exhilaration. She had never imagined herself in a battle like this, yet instinct and courage intertwined in perfect harmony. The hunters moved closer, their lights cutting through the storm. Carr whispered, "We may not last long." Margaret met his gaze, her voice steady. "Then we'll make it count." Outside, the wind screamed, but inside, a grandmother and a wounded alien commander shared an unspoken truth. Bravery isn't about size, weaponry, or age. It's about the heart. And sometimes, saving a life can change not just one world, but two. Margaret Whitfield returned to her cabin that night forever changed. A vacation meant for solitude had become an interstellar rescue, proving that courage knows no age, and that even the smallest acts of compassion can ripple across galaxies.